Yes, y'all. Kids and wives and 9 to 5s, but we are married to the games. How you guys doing? 0 to 5. We're a quarter of the way there to 100 episodes, which is just crazy because when we first started, and I would say 001 or 011, I was like, shoot, man. When I don't have to say a 0 at the beginning, that's going to be crazy. And we're a quarter of the way there. We're keeping it moving. It's your boy, Gabe Patillo, along with Tim Router and Timothy Hall, as always. Thank you guys for listening. We are happy to be here, and we are happy that you are here with us. And it's freaking great. Timothy Hall.
Yes, sir.
How was your week, brethren?
Well,
that's great.
That's right.
That's amazing.
Started, well, you know what? Actually, I started Arkham Asylum.
You did?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Well done.
I just knew you weren't going to start that game.
No, I started that, I think, a little after our episode last week. And
look at you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good Batman game.
Have you played Arkham City yet?
No, and I'm excited to play that one now that I've kind of gotten through a decent amount of Arkham Asylum. But now that Tomb Raider's out, I don't think that game's going to get touched again for quite a while. So.
Shelved. It's officially shelved.
I totally understand that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've played anything else notable. Oh gosh, we went to I'll get to Tomb Raider here in a minute, but we went to Barnes & Noble last night, and they had this Retro Gamer magazine. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, I have.
Oh my gosh, it's so awesome.
It really is.
Wait, what's it called?
Retro Gamer magazine.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, like it's hard to explain like why it's like I think the reason that it's so cool, and I was trying to explain this to my wife, like I think the reason it's cool is because if you're reading a magazine with like up to date game footage, like the newer stuff, like it doesn't give you the same feeling because you read that stuff all the time online. Like who cares? Like you already know all the crap that's in the new magazines. But with the Retro Gamer magazine, it's like bringing out stuff that people don't write about anymore. So it's like new and interesting things, I guess, about classic games. So it's a pretty cool magazine. Like, I mean, they asked for $10 an issue, and well, they got it from me last night. So
really, $10?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's expensive.
That's a lot of money.
It's expensive, but it's a really cool magazine.
Because
So.
they're counting for inflation based on when the previous classic games came out.
Yeah, exactly.
So it really would have been like a quarter or a nickel back in the day, but now it's $10.
Exactly. Nintendo Power was like $4 or $5 during the 90s, so they're like, it'd be $10 now. So we'll
that
just do
is funny.
But yeah, I mean, it really scratches like that itch if you used to read game magazines like in the 90s or whenever, like if you remember the feelings that you got when you read them then, get that magazine and it'll all kind of come back. So it's pretty cool.
That's dope.
That's really cool.
So, go ahead.
I was just going to say, yeah, enough about that. How's Tomb Raider?
Well, let me preface by saying if you pre-ordered at Best Buy, not a sponsor of the show, but if you pre-ordered at Best Buy, you get a special like comic thing.
Mm-hmm. Which no one will find me reading.
Right.
But it might get read. But nobody will see me reading it.
It will take you less than a half hour to read it. So
cool.
It's a really quick one.
Is it digital or is it an actual?
No, it's an actual
comic
book. It's brick and mortar book.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's pretty cheesy, but
the game or the comic book?
The comic book.
Okay, good.
But I was going to preface by saying that because it actually gives you a overview of what's going on before you actually play the game. So it's actually a decent little book. So at least for explaining some of those things. So it'll explain why, in the scene where it's showing all the characters, like you'll be like, oh, I know who all these guys are now.
Oh, that's cool. So
are you saying read it or don't read it?
No, I'm saying definitely read it, and if you can, try to read it before you play. But I mean, it's not a hard read. You could probably read it during a dump or something. It's really not that long.
Wait.
That's awesome.
Wait.
Back up.
I just have
Everybody-
to say. I just have to say, Timothy Hall, you might want to start eating more vegetables
Yep.
because you said it's a 30-minute read.
Oh, well.
My legs would be
I don't-
numb, brother.
I
My
don't
legs
know.
would be numb.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
he's trying to stand up and straight jack myself on the sink.
No,
I'm like,
okay.
I'm up and I'm down.
Maybe-
Papa.
maybe that was the wrong. Maybe that was the wrong
Yeah, it could have been.
specification. I don't know. I think it took me. Yeah, I think it took me a half hour, but I didn't. Yeah, I read it
What,
before I
the
was
dumper
going
reading
to bed.
the comic
so,
book?
No comment, but
Oh, dude, that's
no,
so
I read it. I
love
read it
you, dude.
before
That's
I went to
amazing.
bed. So
That is so
That's
great.
funny.
That just
Okay,
made
so-
my day.
you got to do what you got to do. I mean,
Yeah,
multitask.
You do got to do what you got to do.
Multitask.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
everybody when they're, right now, you're freaking playing Angry Birds or something while you're going, so you might as well just like do something that actually has to do with the game or something. So
Dude, that is really funny. Okay, so question: should we go
Yeah.
ahead and do Tomb Raider, or should we get Routers Week?
um
Go
Yeah.
ahead and do Tomb Raider. That's what we're all waiting
all right, that's what everybody's waiting for.
for.
Yeah,
Hit it.
man, it's a do you like Uncharted?
Loved Uncharted.
Okay, do you like
Oh,
third person shooters just in general?
Yes,
Yes.
Okay, you'll like this game.
that's all it takes.
No, I was going to say it takes a lot. It takes a lot less influence from Uncharted than you would think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it actually the combat and stuff feels quite a bit different. And I'm trying to think, yeah, like the game opens up and it kind of has that same trailer opening that you've seen 100 times before, but I still watched because I was like, oh, well,
Of course.
yeah. But the controls feel pretty solid. Excuse me. I'm playing on the Xbox version because I didn't have enough. Like my hard drive on the PlayStation is completely full, so I went ahead and picked it up on the Xbox just in case it had an install.
Which is hilarious because we later found out that it takes a whopping 5.5
5.4
megabytes
4 megabytes or something.
Nice.
to install.
It really doesn't matter to me. So I think if my brother-in-laws pick up the game, then we'll play online or something. Yeah. Plus, when I get to play online, I get to hear 12-year-old kids yelling at me. So, I mean, that's always fun.
Exactly.
But yeah, gosh, I'm trying to explain the game a little. It feels a little bit like Far Cry 2 because it has an upgrade system, as you'll find when you start playing it.
Oh, okay.
The upgrade system is similar to Far Cry as you level up skills and stuff. It has a system where you repair weapons and then add things to it. Like, for instance, if you pick up salvage, you can repair weapons and you can also improve weapons. So it's a pretty neat little system that they've got, and I had a lot of fun with it. I just had to stop playing.
So you had to force yourself to stop playing the game.
Yeah, man, like it's a really fun game. I mean, like I said, it feels like a solid third-person shooter, and it kind of has like a little bit more historical depth, it feels like, than Uncharted did. Like, Uncharted was based in a lot of mysticism.
Right.
And I think that Tomb Raider feels like it's trying to be a little more. And I'm sure the story that they're telling is fiction, but
Right.
it feels
just
like
feels
it's
a little bit more grounded in reality than it is like
so far.
I got you.
You know what was crazy is that and I'm not going to spoil anything, but like obviously you run into bad guys. I mean, they got to have somebody for you to shoot.
Right.
But the first dude that I met, he sounded like Lazarevich from Uncharted. I was like, what?
Really?
Like,
Oh,
is
wow.
that the dude?
You're like, what are you doing over here?
You know what? It could
Wrong
have
developer.
been. It could have
That's
been.
hilarious.
That's a
He could
trip.
have been like, I have experience with these kind of games,
So would you say this
Yeah.
is an Origins game or is this a reboot?
Oh, this is definitely a reboot.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you read the little comic book that they give you, like it's totally just, here's Lara, and she's 20 some odd years old, like early 20s. Like this is her getting started.
Gotcha.
So.
And Router, explain what you mean by a prequel or a reboot, just for those that might be confused.
An Origins would be like how, X-Men Wolverine's like how everything came to be.
Mm-hmm.
And a reboot is basically just kind of a reintroduction of the brand / of the franchise and kind of spinning it a different way.
I'm really
they did with Spider-Man.
Right.
Yeah, and I was going to say, like, it feels different than pretty much any other Tomb Raider game that I've played. So, I think this is a good direction. Like, the old games were getting kind of stale to me, at least in this generation. So, they needed to release a true next-gen Tomb Raider game, and I think this was it. So, I think they are heading down the right path now.
Controls feel good, like the
everything
mechanics
feels
good.
Yeah, everything feels really good. The roll feels a little bit weird. So as I said, like it feels a lot like Uncharted. They have this roll thing that she does, and it's kind of janky at times because you got to kind of roll away to get away from enemies, or I'm trying not to spoil things. Basically, you just have to use the roll a lot, and it doesn't feel as solid as the Nathan Drake roll where you just push circle and he's rolling all over the place,
right?
Mm-hmm.
Rolling upstairs, or whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels different than in Uncharted, and they have you searching for a lot more things. So like they have this thing called like survival instinct, where it's essentially a kind of almost a, I don't want to say like a radar type thing, but basically you hit the button and it'll kind of display the environment in black and white, but it'll show you key items in color. So like, it'll, like if you're looking for salvage to repair your weapons with, like it'll show you that stuff. Or if you're looking for, I think animals like stay the same color too. Like just key things that you're looking for will actually stay in color, so it's easier to see things. And they don't always put a marker like on when you're playing a Call of Duty, like they always put like a marker where you got to go, and it just stays there the entire time. Mm-hmm. Whereas with this, you actually have to do a little more searching than you would have to normally. But what they'll do is when you push that button, it'll just like blast out and it'll show you the checkpoint for a second. So you're not just going from...
You're not just set it north and just head that way.
Exactly. You're not just constantly heading for the checkpoint. You're actually, trying to find your way through stuff. So it's really cool. I mean, I got through the first probably 2.5 hours and it's super fun.
Nice.
The quick time events are kind of a pain in the butt, and everybody's been talking about them. So, I mean, essentially in the first, hour and a half of the game, like there's so much quick time events. It's just, I don't like quick time events anymore.
I love Q2Es.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, but you're a story guy, so that also, it makes sense. I don't mind them at all. It's a nice little
I just
break.
think it's a good little implementation of something in the midst of a bunch of talking sometimes.
I guess it does. I guess it does give you something to do, but other games do it better. And you guys will see what I mean when you start playing.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Gotcha. I love that. Tomb Raider, Lara Hall.
Lara Hall is back.
Router, how was your week?
Oh man, it was good. A lot of work. Piper's been a little sick. She's got a little cold and cough, and I think she just gave it to me because I'm kind of feeling that way too. So I apologize for any sniffing or coughing that may happen throughout this podcast. But yeah,
I ain't mad at you.
Thank you. But yeah, as far as playing games, I am continuing my quest on Dead Space 3, and I gotta say, it's good. Well, I like it, and it's not as frustrating as Dead Space 2 because they give you a ton of stuff in this game.
There you go.
It's not as survivalist as, say, Dead Space 2 would be.
Yeah.
And I haven't died as much, which is amazing. It's a Christmas miracle. So
maybe you've gotten better.
Well, yeah, I mean, I know like a lot of the combat, the best ways to get around some of these necromorphs, and how you take their limbs and throw it back at them and that kind of stuff. So I've got the mechanics of it down. I think the difference is that in Dead Space 2 they didn't give you as much ammo and upgrades and that kind of stuff. And I think I focused a lot of my upgrades on my rig or my suit versus some of my weapons, which could have done more damage. So I would run out of ammo a lot quicker because of that. In this one, because I pre-ordered Dead Space 3, you get 2 weapons unlocked. And to be perfectly honest, those are the only 2 I'm using because I've just upgraded them. And one's like a machine gun shotgun combination. And with the upgrades, I'm at like full damage, and basically I'm blasting fools left and right. So for me, like I was kind of excited about the creating and crafting your own weapons, and I haven't touched it, to be honest. It's just it's one of those things where, I've got my weapons of choice that I'm comfortable with, that I know work. Like even on some of the bigger boss battles, it's been really effective, and I'm like, well, why change it? I like the fact that there's so much to craft, and I think it can be overwhelming for some people because you can like recraft the tip of your machine gun. You can recraft the frame. There's all these different mechanical parts to your weapons that you can upgrade and or swap out. The great thing about this one, and I found a little frustrating with Dead Space 2, and maybe it's because I'm like coming off of Borderlands where you're always looking at what the specs are for each weapon and how much damage and reload time and that kind of stuff. They didn't do any of that in Dead Space 2. In Dead Space 3 they do, which is great, so you can really see, okay, this line gun has this much damage, this much reload. But I've just been using my 2 weapons and blasting fools. But I really like the game. I am now finally on the ice planet, and like the first half of it is you're all up in space orbiting this planet, and the landscape is beautiful, and it's like a whole like space debris kind of a setting, and you're basically going from different abandoned ships collecting different things you can get on this planet. And man, I've really enjoyed it. I think it's really great. So I'm kind of going right through it. I'm at like chapter 10 or 11 now. So I'm on the ice planet. I'm shooting some fools, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm having a good time with it.
There you go. I love that.
Yeah, so that's pretty much been
you pre-ordered Tomb Raider 2. Did you not get it yet?
No, because Lauren pre-ordered it and got it for me for my birthday, and she had it shipped rather than pick it up at the store. So I ain't mad at her. I mean, she didn't know better.
Have you found that ship seems like it's a day behind?
It's a couple days behind because
it's a couple days behind.
Yeah, because I pre-ordered Dead Space 3 and it came out Tuesday. I got mine Thursday.
Boo.
Yeah. So if you can, just mental note, if you can pick it up at the store. Plus, it's more exciting. I find that so much more exciting just to go in and get it right there in your hands. So I'm waiting on it, which is fine. I want to try and finish Dead Space before I get into Tomb Raider. Anyway, because I can't just put down a game and go to another one. It's against my nature.
Yeah, and pre-ordering a game and picking it up at the store is so much more fun because you got to do the walk of shame. Like,
exactly.
You got to go up there and be like, "Yeah, I got a copy of Tomb Raider."
Yeah.
Yeah, and they hand it to you. Like the girl that hands it to you is just like, "Ooh," like, disgusted with you.
You're like, "Why are you sanitizing your hands? We didn't even touch." She's like, "Just being around you is gross."
Yeah, because I think that's kind of what happened last night. Like I went with Krista to Best Buy to pick it up, and she actually had to pick it up because we ordered it like with her card, and so she shows up and she has to walk up there, and I'm just like, Tomb Raider.
That's awesome.
I got Tomb Raider.
My
at least you weren't holding a baby. That's what I was doing.
Oh, dude.
I had my 17-month-old in my arms. I was like, yeah. One for Tomb Raider. That's how I felt with like a baby on my hip, like trying to get it done. Like,
oh my gosh.
I felt like a single mom.
That's awesome. It's like, it's for my baby girl.
Unashamed. What you looking at? Do your job. Give me my doggone game.
I got to go back to ordering everything from Amazon.
Oh, that's amazing.
No questions.
Hey, look,
No,
you know
got
what?
to come with me.
I have no shame going up there like, yeah, I'm getting Tomb Raider, so what? Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they look at Tim, they're like, how old are you?
Yeah, it's like,
You're like, I'm the demographic. Don't worry about it.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm paying your bills.
Demographic. Yeah.
It's so funny.
Oh, I was telling Krista that last night. I was like, the average gamer is like, what, 40 something?
Yeah, somewhere
I
in
was
there.
like,
It
so,
keeps-
yeah.
To me, it sounds like it keeps changing. Sometimes it's like 35, sometimes it's 38, and yeah, who knows? But it's definitely up there.
Honestly, there must be people gaming up to like in their 50s because there's a lot of kids gaming that outweigh the adults. So it's like
That we know about.
exactly. So how many
Well, that-
adults are gaming like over 50?
Well, that brings up a good point, though. How are they tracking this? Because you never know if an older father is picking it up, not just for him, but also for his teenage son and or daughter. So how do you quantify that research in figuring it out? And maybe that's why the demographic age is so big, or is older, because they're picking it up for their kids.
Good question.
Yeah, that could be.
There you go. This mystery debunked.
Exactly. The dad shows up and he's like, "Yeah, can I get Tomb Raider?"
Yeah. Well, you know what made me think of it is I did that when I went in for Assassin's Creed 3. The guy in front of me was definitely an older gentleman, and he picked it up. He's like, I'm picking this up for my son, but shoot, I want to play this too. So that's kind of what made me think about it.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So
You have that.
So yeah, that's it, man. That's it for me. Patillo, what do you got? Where have you been? How's the tour?
Tour's good. We're ready for it to be over. You kind of hit this point when you're going out every week, that like, the beginning of the tour, you're like, oh, this is awesome. Look at all these people out here. Blah, there's like over 100-something people on the tour, and you're meeting people and you're seeing people that you haven't seen in a long time, and you're like, this is awesome. It's like a reunion. How is everybody? And then like about halfway, we're a little bit over halfway through. We're at the last 3 weeks of the tour, last 4 weeks of the tour, and like all the wives are done. Like, all of our wives are like, okay, I'm ready for you to be home. And everybody feels that when they go home.
Yeah.
Like every time we leave, they're like, okay, bye. You're like, what, man? It's my job. You like these lights? Aren't these lights nice? And they're on? That's interesting. Wonder how that's happening.
No, stay.
So it's like one of those things where it's like you're kind of ready for it to be over, even though it's going awesome. But we were in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh boy,
it was super warm there.
Yes, I bet.
Oklahoma and Memphis.
Wow.
So it was kind of cool. We played where the Thunder plays in Oklahoma, and we played where the Grizzly play in Memphis. So big places.
That's
sold
great,
out,
man.
Turning people away. It's nuts.
That's good. But the tour's going well, and
yeah.
And
Winter Jam 2013. It's doing awesome. We did a Harlem Shake video.
That was
Go
awesome.
check it out.
That's
crazy. It was very cool.
We jumped on the bandwagon.
Of course you did.
I'm sorry. Can I just say, after, like, I didn't know what that was until like 2 days ago. Like, I mean, I had heard of it.
Yeah.
But I was like, I am so not going to watch this video. I do not want to even be a part of this.
Right.
I watched it just because my curiosity finally was
you
just
have to.
done.
It's gonna get you.
And I was like, wow, I feel so stupid now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. I
This
showed it
made
to
me
Lauren,
feel
and she's
so
like,
dumb.
"Really?" She's like, "Really?" So this is what everybody's doing now. But
Yeah, I'm like, what the heck is this?
it's what the kids are doing these days. But it's
Right,
kind of funny,
right.
and you know what? Let me tell you something. Bauer is getting tons of royalties from all that. Well, he's getting tons of publicity. I don't know if it's transferring to
Yeah.
sales, but
no, he was number one on iTunes for a while.
yeah, that boy is cleaning house with that
DJ
song.
Bauer. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I got to I beat Arkham City
Yes.
this week, which was awesome.
And you
That's
liked
a good
it, right?
game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
the story was a little shorter than I thought, but obviously what makes those games long is the side missions and the Riddler trophies.
Oh
and,
yeah.
and all
Well,
that
so
stuff.
all the stuff I don't want to do.
Exactly. And I actually don't end up doing the Riddler trophies, but I do end up doing the side missions. So I did I think I did all the side missions.
Oh, that's
Does
good.
does the Riddler get mad at you in Arkham City like he does in Arkham Asylum? Like he gives you the riddle and then he starts just like getting meaner and meaner. He's like,
You know what's interesting in this one? Every time you found a Riddler trophy, I felt like in Arkham City. It's like, oh, you found that one. I made that one easy kind of thing. Yeah. He doesn't talk every time you find one in Arkham City. He doesn't say anything.
See, that's the thing in Arkham Asylum. Like, I love that he like chastises you. He's just like for the first one, like I didn't even know what the heck he was talking about, and finally he was just like, "It's a painting, you idiot!" Like I'm like, awesome. Oh, that's hilarious.
No, this one, I don't think he does that. I think he taunts you a little bit, but he's more like I'm proud of what I'm doing, blah blah blah. You know, if you can,
I'm proud of what I'm doing.
If you can figure it out, great. But yeah, he doesn't. Different. I wish he would be like, "Come on, stupid." Yeah. You know, I wish he'd do that kind of stuff. But that's good, man. I'm glad you like that.
Yeah. So I gotta get that and the other game I borrowed from you back. What was the other one? Oh, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Oh, yeah, Brotherhood and Arkham City. That's right.
Yeah, so
and I'll give you Far Cry 3 if you'd like.
I know. And
how about it?
A note about Best Buy, when I went there to pick up Tomb Raider last night with my baby on my hip.
That's right.
The guy was like, man, a lot of people have been coming and getting this game today. And I was like, yeah. He goes, man, I might have to get it. And I was like, yeah, see? I was like, you feel like you're missing out on something, don't you? He was like, yeah, I do. Exactly. He goes, but I don't usually play these games. He's like, I'm a online Call of Duty and Madden guy. I was like, oh, well, yeah, of course.
Who isn't?
And right. And he was like, yeah, I don't usually ever play story games. He goes, but I did play Far Cry 3. And I was like, oh. I said, what did you think of it? He goes, well, I didn't really like the controls and something else. And I was like, did you beat it? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, so was the story good enough for you to want to play through the whole thing? And he kind of rethought about it. He was like, I actually really, really like the game. You should play it. And I was like, all right. Well,
yeah, you got to play it, man.
There you have it. And,
I don't know.
What?
I'm sorry. I was going to say, I don't know if the story starts well, but it kind of finishes a little weird. But I think you'll enjoy it. It's just a fun game to play. I really had a good time with it.
Yeah. So I'll do that for sure.
Okay, good.
And then as I went and picked up my pre-order, saw Timothy Hall, got to give him his shirt.
Oh, yes.
Got to give Router his shirt yesterday, earlier in the day.
I'm wearing it right now.
So everybody's got their Married to the Game shirts, which is awesome.
I slept in mine. Just so you know, it was the best sleep ever. It was nice and comfy.
So if anybody's wanting a shirt, I don't have a bunch of them, but hit me up, Gabe, Gabe at marriedtothegames.com. I had somebody
I think
email
you pretty
me already.
much owe Ed one.
Yeah,
I know. Ed wants one. He did a video, him and his wife. I feel so bad. I didn't get any smalls made. Not for nothing, but I was making them for gamers, and I haven't met a small gamer. I was just kidding. I was just joking. I've met plenty of small gamers, but I didn't get any smalls made, so I feel so bad. So hopefully here in the future, if some people buy shirts, I can make some smalls on the next run, and we'll hook up Sarah.
Hey, you could make youth larges.
Youth larges, of course. And I went to GameStop yesterday my wife pre-ordered Last of Us for me for Christmas. And you can kind of move your $5 around at GameStop when you pre-order a game. And so I moved it over to God of War. I don't know why, because I'm probably not going to buy it. But I just didn't. For some reason, it was bugging me that I had Last of Us reserved there when I'm going to reserve it at Best Buy with the $20 that I got for buying Tomb Raider early.
Yeah. I could definitely agree with that.
So trying to do that whole rollover thing, get these games a little bit cheaper, a little bit more cheaper.
And I wonder if there's enough stuff that I'm going to want that The Last of Us will be free after all my credits or something.
I think so.
Awesome.
I think you'll be able to get there no problem. That's why I pre-ordered Dead Space and Tomb Raider 2, because there you go, $40 right there.
Yep.
There you have it.
Shoot, I'm trying. Well, what else is coming between then? I mean, we got God of War.
Well, would you like to know?
Yes.
No, well, I mean, we've got, at least this month, are you a BioShock person? Because BioShock Infinite's coming out March 26th.
I really want that.
God of War March 12th. And, oh, man, I'm so sorry. Last week, when I was running down the titles for March, I totally forgot about all of our Xbox gamers, and I apologize because Gears of War Judgment comes out March 19th, and I forgot to say that. So I'm totally sorry to all of our Xbox gamers. That's
selfish, Tim Router.
I know, right?
That is one I might have to get because I know for a fact my brother-in-laws would sell a kidney to get that game, so I might as well try to get that.
Yeah, and Hall is our resident Xbox gamer because both.
That means I just own one.
Right. Right. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're playing on it, but at least you own one. But yeah, typically we are PlayStation folk, but I definitely do not want to diss our Xbox gamer, so I apologize. Gears of War, March 19th.
I can't lie, that Gears of War game is going to be good. I mean,
I think so.
The main games that I buy for my Xbox anyway is just the Xbox exclusives. So you get the Halos, you get the Gears of War, and there's not really much else that I play like on Xbox specifically. But I mean, I'll probably be buying a lot more games for it now that my hard drive is full on my PlayStation. It literally, right. And I was telling Gabe, like, I have gone through that thing like 4 times and deleted stuff that I don't play, and now I'm like, there's nothing else I can delete.
You're gonna have to upgrade that Joker.
Yeah, I thought about that, but the next gen's like coming up so quickly.
Yeah, but it's so cheap and so easy to do.
Yeah,
I know, but I'd rather buy another game than buy a hard drive.
But what if you can't play it?
Well, no, I got both. I can play anything. I can play everything I want.
Exactly.
Unless, like, I don't know, Uncharted 4 comes out in this gen.
That's not happening.
But that's definitely not happening.
Go ahead, Router. You got some more stuff coming out?
Yeah, well, new releases this week, of course, the one to mention would be Tomb Raider. South Park, The Stick of Truth is also coming out to PC, PS3, and Xbox 360 this week.
Rush out and get that one.
Yeah, everybody just flood the stores for that one. So that's new releases this week. So like I said, we've got God of War coming out. That'll be next week. And then the following week will be Gears of War, and then BioShock will close out March. Those are kind of the heavy hitters.
That's so crazy for March. God of War and Gears of War. All the of wars are coming out this month.
The wars are coming out.
GOWs.
That's right. Let me give you some chart stuff for last week. So as we talked about last week in the podcast, Aliens Colonial Marines was the number 1 and number 2 spot. It has, of course, since dropped. It went from like 200 and something thousand to 29,000 this week.
Gosh.
Units. So, I mean, all these games are taking a hit, though, too. Dead Space 3 didn't even make the top 10.
Wow.
So number 1 for this past week, Crysis 3.
Oh, there you go. That makes sense.
So they did 195,000 units. Number 2 and 3, Metal Gear Rising.
Huh.
Gabe, are you going to play that game?
Are
you a Metal Gear fan?
I am a fan. I want to. Yeah. In my heart, I want to.
I'm interested, but man, it looks like they've gone so far from like.
Yeah, if you stop playing that game for like 2 games, you're like, wait, why does this guy not have a bottom lip and his teeth are showing?
Yeah, I enjoyed like the first few, but I have no idea what's going on now. So
I think you're kind of in the same boat as everybody else too. But I mean, it sold number 2 and 3, so it did pretty well this week.
Well, we'll get write-ins from people like saying like, "Oh yeah, no, it's totally understandable," blah blah blah. But I think for the average like outsider, they're just like, "What is going on?"
Exactly.
I've never played any of that series, so it doesn't necessarily interest me, so I will probably pass on that one.
If you play Metal Gear Solid, the original, you'll just be like, This doesn't look like it has anything to do with what's coming out.
No, you're like, does he have a sword and like conjuring lightning? Like, what the freak is going on?
Well, no, that's that Raiden guy, that Raiden character from number 2.
But all I'm saying is,
yeah, it's still crazy. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So, but kudos to them. Number 2, number 3. Let's see what else we got. Of course, Call of Duty's still up there. They have sold. In 15 weeks for Xbox 360, they've sold 6.5 million units.
Goodness gracious.
And for the PS3, they've sold 3.7 million units.
That's a bunch.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of dough right there.
And that's just here, right?
Yeah, all the charts that I do are US based. So I apologize. I should have said that up front, but
no. It's fine.
That's what we got. So that's what's going on in new releases and chart news.
There you go. Router, Hall, give us something. Sorry.
Gabe's wish is coming true.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited.
You already know what I'm talking
no,
about.
I don't.
Too.
But I just because you said
He's
that.
going with it.
Yeah, I'm going
I figured
with
you might.
Yeah.
It has something to do with a little character named Shenmue.
Shut up.
Yeah, you didn't hear that Yu Suzuki is thinking about funding it through Kickstarter or something?
Oh, this sounds like he's going to be funding it through Gabe Patillo.
That's right.
Well, if you got $70 million, and I know that you do.
Wait a second. I'm just shy of that. I got 68 million.
There you go.
Then you can't do it. Sorry. No,
he wants $70 million for a game?
Dude,
for
games
what?
games are expensive. Shenmue 3.
Shenmue 3.
Yep.
Holler at your boy.
Sounds like you're saying Shamu. I'm like, what does
Shamu
Shamu
3.
have anything to do with it? It's like
You're like, what? Yeah. How you make a game about a whale fun?
Exactly. We're gonna crowdfund Shamu. No,
Okay, break it down. Give it to us.
Basically, I mean, he said that at the Monaco anime game show, he said that he's considering doing a Kickstarter style project for crowdfunding Shenmue 3. I think that, and I read up on this a little bit more. I believe that requires him to get the license from Sega, because I think Sega still technically owns the character.
Right.
I don't really know, like what hoops he would have to jump through to get that, and if Sega would even allow it. But yeah,
they need to come off that money then.
Yeah, man. I mean, maybe if they were to do something in partnership with him or something, I mean, that would be great, because that's the thing, is doing a Kickstarter, I don't think any of them have gotten up to 70 million.
No.
I mean, that's crazy big.
That's a stupid amount of money. And not enough people know Shenmue or care. I'm the only one.
That must include marketing money. It has to.
Well,
that can't just be for developing.
It could. Yeah, because I was going to say 70 million would make a pretty
that's a AAA game right there. Yeah.
Dog.
Maybe he's jumping a little. Maybe he's like stretching his budget a little bit there, but yeah, I mean, who knows? He could do the Kickstarter and it could get up to 40 mil, and they could say, well,
there's no way it's getting that high.
No way.
Yeah, you're probably right. So I just thought it was an interesting story, because I mean the news outlets ran just the speculation of him doing that, and they don't. I mean, I know they run stories every now and then about somebody says they're going to try something, but this is actually like something that if they do launch it, it's going to be promoted heavily in the news, because I'm sure a lot of people want to see that get made.
Right.
So, and I haven't even had I played a little bit of the one, but I haven't really had a chance to play through 1 and 2 like as an actual.
I played both them jokers.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't. I wish I would have gotten the chance to play through 1 and 2, and I kind of held out because I was hoping that they would do like an HD re-release of it, but not that the voice acting was stellar enough to warrant that. But
the man at the hot dog stand told me about that day that guy came while it was raining. You're like,
oh god,
what?
Oh no, trust me. Like, I remember the voice acting was really, really bad.
Oh, it was bad.
Like, looking back on it, like now, like you playing it back then, like I wasn't thinking as hard about it because everything was bad at the time. Like everything was pretty bad, but now, like looking back on how games are basically, they're so intertwined with the entertainment industry now that the voice acting is stellar, and a lot of times they hire,
we've got Ellen
great
Page
voice actors. Yeah. Or Ellen Page is let's face it, she is in a game.
Right, exactly.
Like character,
her and
body,
Willem Dafoe.
voice, everything. Yeah.
Willem
Dafoe's in there too. I think I might have heard about that. Like, is he actually like she is? Like,
like a character
in the game?
Yeah, full on. I'm so excited.
That's so crazy.
I tweeted it, and then maybe where you saw it, but I was like, I'm getting this game regardless if it sucks or not, because these two guys are in it, because they're both great actors.
That's so cool. Well, Willem Dafoe is great in everything except Speed 2.
He couldn't help
and that's not his fault.
No, that's not his fault. It's kind of his fault. It's his agent's fault.
Yeah.
Speaking of, though, Kickstarter, have you guys heard of Oculus Rift?
Yes.
The virtual reality headset?
Yes.
Yeah. Weren't they at CES this year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were at E3, which I didn't know, and I'm really mad at because I could have seen it.
Yeah, you could have.
But Oculus Rift, EA is looking into using the Oculus Rift for some upcoming stuff that uses its Frostbite engine, which are Battlefield, Dragon Age 3 will be on that, and the Mass Effect
engine.
titles. So, and it's starting to leak out there to developers. I think March is when they kind of began giving them out. They thought it was going to be December, but March is when they started giving them out. Oculus Rift, for those that don't know, is a virtual reality headset, and it's supposed to be the bomb. They were asking for $250,000 to kickstart this thing, but got $2.5 million.
Wow.
From 9,522 backers. So it's out there. People are excited. This stuff has never worked out.
Yeah.
Ever. But it's a new day. And I think that for people like me who's kind of into that, like I'm like, man, I would love to have a headset like this, even though it looks extremely dorky. I mean, you can get snuck up on, of course. I don't know why I'm worried about that, but in my own house. But I don't want anybody tickle attacking me or anything like that.
Watch
kids.
that baby girl, man.
Yeah.
She can grip your wallet real easy.
But the thought of them doing this right does really get me excited.
Oh, I'm with you. But here's the funny thing, so they want 250,000. Shamu developer over here wants 70 million. How does that work out? And we freaking and with Oculus Rift, we get virtual reality. Come on, I'll take that over Shamu any day.
Yeah, I'll take that over bad voice
gaming
acting.
development is expensive.
It is. No, I'm with you. I understand what it takes because developers are code men, and I applaud them for it. I think they're the bomb. But come on, 70 million versus virtual reality for 250,000. I'll take that any day.
Right. But if they added this, and they already actually have Doom 3 working on Oculus Rift, and if you were one of the people that gave, I think it was like $300 or $250, you would get the development kit. I think the 250 one, it was weird. It came apart. You had to put it together. And then it came with Doom 3 BFG. And so it works. So I was thinking, if they put it on the next Mass Effect, if they put it on the next Battlefield, that could be really cool. The only thing is, I guess, looking behind you, like they'd have to figure something out so you're not spinning in circles. But I don't know, man. I just think it could be cool. I know I'm a dork, but I think
I love it, man. I think it would be really cool.
Yeah.
And the Frostbite engine is no joke. I mean, Battlefield 3 looks beautiful.
Right.
all that stuff looks incredible. So I don't know. We'll see.
Router, you got something?
Yeah. Well, first off, I got to tell you, I miss our Black History Month little segments. I think we should extend Black History Month to March because
I think we should have Gabe do one more.
I think he should do it for the rest of the podcast. Just for the life of the podcast, we need some Black History Month, Black History Year, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I was going to say 2013 is Black History Year.
That's right. Let's do that. I miss that. But anyway, I digress. If you are a PlayStation Plus member, new games for free this week. Spec Ops: The Line.
Yes, I heard that's actually really good.
That is crazy.
I'm downloading that. Joe Danger 2, Disgaea 3, Absence of Detention. That's clearly got to be some Japanese game. We talked about this a couple episodes ago. The Cave. Download it. It's free.
That's right. It's free.
So I want to try that.
What the heck?
Yeah, I want to try that out. And Tekken 6.
Huh.
So they got some good ones.
Yeah. I think Tekken 6 on PS on Vita.
Gosh.
Oh, Tekken, you might be right.
If I had any hard drive space, man, I would download all of that stuff. This is ridiculous.
Spec Ops, I'm all over that.
Spec Ops especially.
Yeah. So that's some good stuff. And yeah, you're right. I think you said Tekken 6 was Vita.
Mm-hmm.
Think.
Yep, Tekken 6.
So yeah, so that's really cool.
Man, PS Plus makes me want to get a Vita just to get all this free stuff that's coming out.
Hey, well, listen, when the PS4 comes out, I'm sure we're all going to be getting Vitas.
Right. That's true.
Second screen. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Man, if that remote play plans out like they have actually said it would.
Yep.
That would be incredible.
I will own a Vita if that happens.
Hall, you got something else?
I had one little thing here. There was a study that they did in the UK where they said old people are happier when they buy, like old people who play video games are happier. Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny.
They have a higher level of well-being.
Yeah,
did you read social functioning.
You read the same thing?
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense because it's the train your brain type thing. Like, you know how they say like playing puzzle games, keeps you from getting what is it, Alzheimer's?
Yeah, or dementia or something like that.
Yeah, or dementia. So basically, it's exercising your brain constantly, and
right.
It kind of goes back to something that I said in like probably episode 4 or 5 or something like that, where I said I always liked the Uncharted games because even though it's not a puzzle game, it feels like a puzzle because basically you're just trying to find the best route of getting out of a hairy situation. So
it's very true.
I mean, and that's almost like every game nowadays. That's not just the Uncharted games. So really, they're combining a lot of puzzle elements in the games we already play. So I don't think these specifically are the games that they're talking about, but I think that a lot of us are going to have higher brain function just because of that. We're exercising our brain like constantly.
Well, and plus we're happier because we can take out our aggressions on headshotting fools in a game.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean,
there's something cathartic about ripping a necromorph's limbs off and then passing it back to him and pinning him up against the wall. I'm like, yeah, that felt good.
Exactly.
Love
if you said that out of any other, like out of this conversation, you would look, people would look at you very strange.
I would be in jail.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've done studies before, like humans that work demolition are, I say humans, yeah. Right. Humans that work demolition are like very happy people.
Really?
Because they constantly get to destroy things.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of our, like, I heard this many, many years ago on like maybe it was a TV show where they were talking about a study they did or something. But I mean, we as humans have to be able to destroy things. Like it's part of the human nature. Like we have to be able to let off that aggression.
Huh.
And that's part of the thing. Like they said, like, people who work demolition are some of the happiest people in the world because they're letting that off constantly.
There you go.
So
I like it.
I mean, it makes
Very
a lot
cool.
of sense, and playing games, like Tim said, it's the same kind of thing. Like you're letting out that aggression on a game. So,
I got a little something. Hyperkin is unveiling a thing called the Retro N4 on March 23rd at the Midwest Gaming Classic. And the Retro N4, I thought this was cool. It's a console that plays NES, SNES, Game Boy Advanced, and Sega Genesis games.
Yeah, I read about this thing. It sounds pretty cool.
I love that. It's got an HDMI output, which I love. 2 controller ports for each system, plus a Bluetooth controller. Plus, in the systems, like you could change around the buttons, so you can probably use one Bluetooth controller for everything. And so they're going to be unveiling that. They already have the Retro N3 out, which plays NES, SNES, Super Famicom, Genesis, and Mega Drive games. But that's S-Video. But it's only like $52, the number 3.
Wow.
So I was like, shoot. So for those old school gamers out there that want to, dust a cartridge off, Retro N4, do it.
I'm pretty excited about it because I think that, like, I like playing my old school systems, but they look so bad on my TV.
Right, of course.
So I wonder if this would look any better.
It'd be awesome. I just think it's such a great idea, and I love that people are tipping their hat to where this all began.
Yeah, that's important. I think that's very cool.
Yeah. And also, small thing, the Citadel is a DLC that's coming out from Mass Effect 3, and it'll probably be the last big one that's coming out. It's available now at PC, Xbox, PS3. It's $15, which seems a little pricey for me, but it gets the whole gang together and somebody's trying to kill Shepard at the Citadel. And so you're trying to, get out of that.
Meh.
I know, me too. I was like, shoot, if it was $5 maybe. 15?
Yeah, like I'm one of those guys where most DLC, like if it's included in a game of the year thing or something, then I'm like totally in. But if it's like $15 for something that the game's over a year old, I don't know.
Yeah, that seems a little steep.
I'm kind of with you on that one.
And you know what? Shoot, like Skyrim DLC just came out and they already slashed the prices, so it was like $9.99, and you're like, and this is a year old and they're charging way more.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think with the PlayStation version, the reason that they came out half price was probably to say we're sorry.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it was a total consolation.
Yeah.
It was a hey, you know, Xbox guys have been playing this for months now, but oh, here you go, we'll throw you a bone.
Yeah, I need to get back into Skyrim eventually, but you know what? That's probably never going to happen.
Not for a while, but when you do, it's nice and peaceful. It's kind of like going to the spa, because when I just did that with Dragonborn, I was like, oh, this is great, because I can go in stealth kill, one-shot people, and move on and continue the game. It was nice.
Well, I guess if you're me, you can just run in and everybody rushes you and you just kill everything. So
I love that. Rowdy,
a little bit different of a tactic, but
exactly.
Only slightly. Rowdy, you got something else?
All right, let me get this out of the way. I posted it on our site, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, coming out. Thank you, Ubisoft, for spitting out yet another game. So I saw the trailer, and all I can say is, meh. You know,
really?
Like, I'm not excited. I've been so disappointed with AC3, so I will wait probably. I think it's coming out in October. If so, then I will wait probably until Black Friday when it goes down to $39.99, and then maybe, just maybe, I will purchase it.
You were burned by AC3 that bad?
Yeah, you know, I wasn't when I was playing it, just because it was the excitement of finishing the game and getting it done. As I've kind of reflected on it, as you could say, yeah, it was, you know, because I played Brotherhood right before AC3 just to kind of get back into the Assassin's Creed vibe.
Right.
And I liked playing Brotherhood far better than I played AC3.
Dang it.
So, but here's an interesting, funny little tidbit. So they put the trailer out and did all that fun stuff. Apparently, PETA, the people for the ethical treatment of animals, is protesting the supposed depiction of whaling in the game.
So stupid.
So just one more thing for them to try and capitalize getting their awareness out on, because they've also attacked Super Meat Boy, Call of Duty, and Mario and Cooking Mama. I thought those two were hilarious. I'm like, PETA's going after Mario. It's
Do they have? Okay. Are they just? What are they doing over there?
Saving digital animals, I guess.
Dude, they said they're trying to encourage video game makers to create quotes now, to create games that celebrate animals, not games that promote hunting and killing them. I'm like, can we? Why don't you be upset about people dying? Right. You know
well, I'm gonna say in Tomb Raider you have to hunt, and because people have been saying that, if you didn't hunt, what would you eat?
Right.
I mean, I know that games like don't have to be reality, but like seriously, like that's one of the first things in the game. She's like, I got to eat something. I really need to eat something. So, and she says it more needy than that. I mean, I'm saying it kind of
right.
Yeah, I gotta get something to eat. Can I grab a bite real quick?
You gotta eat rallies, man. You know,
you go through this drive-through.
Yeah, but
Dad,
no,
can
like
we go through this drive-through?
That's like the first thing she's thinking, though. You know, she's like her survival instincts kick in. She's like, well, I got to hunt.
Grab me a Happy Meal. Make sure I don't get the same toy I got last time.
That's right. and bark isn't nutritious and won't give you the energy that you need.
Yeah, oh, PETA.
Yeah, God bless you, PETA.
Oh, PETA.
Oh, PETA.
But yeah, yeah, AC4. Tell us what you guys think. I'm like,
I have AC3. I beat Arkham City probably on Thursday or Friday. Had the whole weekend to open another one or start a new game.
Yeah.
And I literally stared at AC3 in the wrapping and was like,
still in the wrapper. Wow.
I'll just do some side missions.
Yeah.
On Batman. Only because it seems like nobody really liked it. And so I'm like, well, what the freak? Why do I want to start it?
Yeah, but you should try it. I mean, if you like Brotherhood, at least try it for a little while.
Why? So I got my feelings hurt like you?
Well, yeah.
Misery,
yeah,
love company, boy.
Forget it. Sell it then. Screw it.
I can sell it brand new on eBay, even though I feel bad because it was a gift. What do you do with that?
All right. Okay. Do this.
Well, wait. Where'd they get it for you?
I don't know. It was for Christmas.
It's for your birthday.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, like, you could try to take it back to the store or something that you bought it.
Here it is.
Or that they bought it.
Thank the individual for the game. Take it back to the store and or sell it, and then go get yourself something else.
Exactly.
Because you can borrow mine, and that way you can be the judge. How about that? Because I ain't playing it for a while.
If you found out what store they bought it from, you could just take it back, and you'd probably get $60. So you could just get yourself another game.
I don't have the receipt or anything. You think they're okay with that?
Well, I mean, it depends on the store. Like,
because I tell you what,
Best Buy can look up your person's transaction. They could look up the SKU. I think.
If I did take it back, I would tell you what I would do with that money. Since it'd be like $60 all of a sudden I'd probably go get that God of War just so I could play some Last of Us.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Giggity, giggity.
There you go. Giggity gone.
Oh, Hall, did you have anything else?
Man, I think we're reaching our time here. So, real quick, you know what? Let's just do the question of the week and let's call it a day.
You got the question of the week, don't you, Jack?
Yeah. We should have put a call out on Twitter, but I just came up with a question this week because I heard about it on another podcast. Like, how long do you think they're going to continue to make games for the current gen systems? Because I mean, Assassin's Creed 4 is going to be a multi-platform game. It couldn't not be like a PS3, PS4 game. So. How long do you think they're going to continue this trend? Because there's a lot of PS3s and a lot of Xbox 360s out there.
Man,
I'm going to say at least 5 years.
What?
At least.
Whoa, that's a little bit longer than I thought. But
you think? Well, look, this is coming from somebody who hasn't gone through a next gen before. But think about this: when the final PS2 game that came out was back in January or back in November.
Yeah.
So
Pro Evolution Soccer, that don't really count though.
That's true, but
I mean, I'm talking about like straight up like AAA titles. They port those down for a while.
Yeah.
Like when I'm trying to remember what was that Call of Duty 3. I remember that came out. I think a year into the lifespan of the new consoles, and it still came out on Xbox. I don't think it came out on PS2, but
my question is this. So I think when you say make games for it is different than saying porting down games that they're bringing out for the PS.
Well, yeah, I mean it is, but you got to still think that they're. I don't want to say porting games down. I kind of more want to say they have a development team devoted to a AAA title. Mm-hmm. So like let's say that they release Uncharted 4, for instance, and it's a PS4 game, which I think it's going to be a PS4 exclusive, but I'm just using this as an example. Let's say they release Uncharted 4, and then they say, well, we still got to have a PS3 development team for this game because we still want to release it on PS3. Right. We got a lot of PS3s out there, so let's do it.
Right.
Like, how long are they going to keep that up? Because that's,
I think they'll probably I think they'll port for 2 years.
I think 2 years sounds like a good number. Like, and I'm talking about just straight AAA games because I think they're going to make the Maddens forever. Like, I mean, Madden, you'll see that come out for the next 5 years.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Probably. Obviously, the soccer game. I mean, the fact that it came out on PS2 like 3 months ago is ridiculous.
Yeah, well, yeah,
you know what I mean?
And the soccer
games will be around for forever. Maybe baseball. I have no idea, but
well, also too because even though like the generational leap. God, that was hard to say. The graphical leap with this next gen, like even though it's going to be a very solid leap in what games are going to be able to do as far as frame rates and resolution and all that stuff.
Right.
I think a lot of people are still going to be content with their consoles. I mean, they're still selling a ton of PS3s and Xbox 360s. Like,
yeah.
Even though people know the next gen systems are coming, and maybe the average consumer doesn't really know that much.
Yeah,
but,
I think they know something that there's always going to be something coming out.
Well, the average consumer knows that, this console's been out a long time. There's probably something new coming out eventually because they've gone through console cycles before. Like, even if the average consumer doesn't think about it, I mean, they've gone through console to console to console, and they know that the backwards compatibility, this generation wasn't good. So next generation, it's really not going to be good.
And you know what? To add to
Go
that
ahead.
point, like I was thinking about it, the whole backwards compatibility thing, just because I've never experienced it. Now that I think about it, it really doesn't matter because I'm still going to keep my PS3. So if I want to play a PS3 game, I'll play a PS3 game. You know?
Oh
so
no, trust me. Oh, go ahead.
No. And so I was thinking about it because I remember we were first talking about this. I'm like, yeah, it's not backwards compatible, blah blah blah. But I'm like, yeah, but that's okay. Like that's not going to deter me from getting anything next gen or anything because it's just another console that I can keep with me. And then if I want to play something, I'll play something, and we're done.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and that's how we think about it. That's how we feel about it. But we're like the core,
Right.
the core of the audience.
The general consumer may not understand.
Oh no,
You're
the
right.
general consumer definitely doesn't want that because they're going to Walmart and they're like, oh, I'm going to pick up the new PS4 for my son, and then they're talking to the associate or something. They're like, you mean these 50 games that my son has, they aren't going to work on the new system? What are you talking about?
Right.
They're pissed about that stuff.
It's true.
They
Which is
easily
so weird.
get pissed about it.
It's space.
Just the way the consumers are.
I think it's to save space too. They don't want to have an older console just taking up room somewhere.
Or they, they handed it down to somebody else, like their friend's son has never had a video game system, so they're like,
right.
Well, you can have my son's, PS3. He doesn't really play it that much anymore. But they're gonna, as far as the games are concerned, like they know that they have bought their kid like 50 some odd games for their system,
Right.
Exactly.
And then they're going to buy a system, and they're like, you mean he can't play any of these games on his new thing? Like, they're I think they're gonna be a little pissed, but
yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Gaikai can do too in the whole cloud-based gaming and see how that works. But
yeah, who knows? That might be really awesome. So
yeah, I'm with you.
Could be. All right, we all ready?
And just a real quick shout out before Gabe does the ending.
Yeah, I got one too.
Well, I was gonna say the Tomb Raider is available at Redbox, so if you can't afford to pick it up just yet, listeners, just go rent it at Redbox and try it. It's a lot of fun. So
nice.
And I got some Twitter shout outs. Of course, our normals that keep always commenting and replying back to some of our tweets, like Casey and of course Ed. We love you boys. So that's awesome. But I got to give props to Scott Clark because he tweeted. He said, "I had a snow day today and played through 85% of Tomb Raider." He said, "I'm exhausted." So big ups to you, man, for spending. Man, that is exactly what I want. I want a snow day where I can finish some games, get stuff done, and feel accomplished. It would be amazing.
Freaking awesome.
So big ups to you, man. That's really, really cool. And,
we all need a snow day.
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
I love that. I have one quick shout out. I'm sorry. Garrett Morgan.
Yes.
Y'all know Garrett Morgan? I'm just
Yes.
kidding. No, you don't.
No.
Garrett Morgan
Yes.
invented the traffic light, and he was a brother.
Oh, that
Hey!
Garrett Morgan.
Bring it. I was hoping you do.
I know who he is.
I was hoping you bring that.
Happy belated Black History Month up in this piece.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I got my fix.
Oh, yeah. So we're about to get up out of here, man. We appreciate you guys listening. Episode 12025. 125. Where am I going? I'm jumping into the future.
I think you're wishing.
I know.
125.
Where we're going, Marty, we don't need roads.
1.21 gigawatts.
Y'all keep listening. We gonna be here. For Tim Router, for Timothy Hall, I'm Gabe Patillo. We are married to the games, man, and we up out this thing. Peace!